It's Massimo here at Shadowcast Pictures Camera Rentals in Los Angeles, California. Technically, I think this is Van Nuys or North Hollywood. But anyways, what I'm doing is I'm prepping a Union feature show camera, or the camera for a Union feature. We're doing pickup shots, stuff that they couldn't film originally, but we'll get into more of that later. Anyways, what we have is we have an Arri Alexa, we have an Angenieux Optimo 28 to 340 millimeter lens. I've got a small HD 702. I've got a Teradek Bolt Pro 600, which is this guy. That's our wireless video transmitter. I've got an Anton Bauer sandwich plate for D-tap power. And the reason why I don't have a battery on here is I don't want to drain the small guys during the camera prep. So I'm actually hooked up to the big VCLX battery. One cable out of that battery is powering the camera. Another cable out of that battery is basically a D-tap splitter, so I can power all of my accessories like the monitor, the Teradek, if I had a wireless follow focus, that kind of thing. But the reason why I'm making this video is because I haven't seen a single video posted on YouTube about the basic menu options of the Arri Alexa. Like if you're a first AC, if you're a DP trying to navigate through stuff, here's basically how you would do it. So when you first fire up the camera, you're going to hit the on-off button. It takes about 15-20 seconds to get to this part or this screen. This is the home screen, and you're ready to start recording. So let's set up the camera. So basically, your frame rates it's pretty easy to navigate through the menus. Your FPS or frame rates is right here. You hit that button, you get to this screen. This little rotary knob right here lets you select what you want. Let's go with 2397. So as you press that button, now I've selected 23976 as my frame rate. My shutter would be the shutter angle 180, or if you want to go like Saving Private Ryan, you would go to like 90 or 45. A lot of edgy music videos shoot at a 45-degree shutter. Most reality TV show, game show, competition type shows shoot at 90-degree shutter, just so you know. But 180 is kind of like a standard, so we'll stick with 180. Your white balance. The way the white balance works is you hit that button. Like I said, you can select what you want, whether you want to be in tungsten 3200, you want to be fluorescent 43, or you want to be in daylight 56. You would select that, so you would select 5600 as your daylight because that's what we're shooting in. Your ISO, which is the EI button, is basically native to the camera is 800. You can go as low as 160. If you're shooting broad daylight, you don't have any filters, that would be like an option. Or you're shooting in super low light, 3200. Hopefully you have a better lighting package and you can light correctly. But 800 is where I want to be at, so 800 is what I'm going to select. Your color button basically determines what color you want burned into your not your final footage, but your recording footage. So what I'm going to do is if I hit gamma, it's going to tell me that internally it's going to record log C color, which is basically like a flat profile. It's going to let you have more room to play around with in post. You can add a lookup table. You can do whatever you want. My recording out, which is basically these two HD SDI connections or BNC connections. In the old days, you would hook up an external recorder to this, and you can record at either Rec 709 or you can record at log C. It's the same thing with the monitor. If you go to this monitor, Rec 709, this is my monitor out BNC connection. But I want to see what color the camera has kind of like visually shown me. So I don't want a flatter image. I want to see like actual color through the screen. And that's why we choose Rec 709. But if you, for whatever reason, if you wanted to see it in log C, like your DP wants to see it in log C, press the button, hit this, boom. Now my monitor is going to show me Rec 709, which is pretty flat. There's not a whole lot of color going on there. But for today's purposes, I want to see it in Rec 709, so you can see there's a little more color that just got added back. And my record out, sorry, let me come back up. My record out, I'm going to make Rec 709 as well. Okay, so that takes care of that. You hit the home screen, boom, you're back here. So now here's your basic, other basic setup of things that your DP would ask you to do for you. So you hit the menu button, you get to recording. Well, what does that mean? You hit the recording, you've got internal and recording out. Remember, recording out is if you're going out through these BNC cables to an external recorder, like an Odyssey Q7, for instance, something like that. But for our purposes, internal, you're going to record onto S by S cards in this case. This is kind of like an older Alexa, but here would be your S card slot This goes in, it's spring loaded, so as you pop this out, make sure when you load these cards, the label is out towards you. Don't make the mistake of putting it in this way or you're screwed. You have to take this whole module off, and it's just a pain in the ass to get the card out. And Arri recommends that you take it to them, which is $150 an hour. But anyways, my card's going in, like I said, the label is out. That goes in, boom, it's gonna recognize it, give you a green light, and then I'm gonna close the door. Okay, so when you get to this menu, let me go back and I'll show you that again. So we started at the home screen. We're gonna go menu, the recording menu. I'm gonna hit my jog wheel, boom, go to internal. So my DP asked me for ProRes, and he asked me for 444, which means you want a lot of color information to be recorded onto the card. More room to play around with, more color space, et cetera, but you could go to 422 HQ, or you could go just regular 422. But for our cases, boom, that's where I want to be. My resolution on this particular camera, the software only has two options. You have 1920 by 1080p, or you have 2K 2048 by 1152. DP asked me for 2K, so I'm going to go to 2K. If I had to format the card, this is where you would do it. The reason why I don't want to format this is because I've already recorded some stuff on here that I want to show you how that works. So I don't want to format this right away. But if you had to, quick format is basically like you're basically telling the card, hey, get rid of what you have. I'm ready to record some new information. But just in case I need to pull it up later, the information is going to be there. So you can use software to extract some info that you may have deleted by accident. Erase the card, like erase the SSD card, would mean you want to wipe that thing completely clean. There's no chance of ever recovering the data whatsoever. So I'll give you the best example. If you only have two cards and you're shooting the entire day, just do a quick format. If you have 10 cards or 8 cards like we do today, I'm going to erase the entire card because there's no reason to hang on to the info if we're just constantly recording and dumping cards. But that's this menu. So let me go back to our monitoring. So monitoring is where you would adjust your specific pieces. So the electronic viewfinder is right. Let me point it right here. What do I want to see in that viewfinder? So what I could do is I could select that, and I could say I want to bring the brightness up. I want to see frame lines. I want to see peaking. I want to see zoom position. I want to see whatever it is I want to see. If I went to frame lines, for instance, there would be the option to select the frame lines within the viewfinder. If I go back, if I just hit the back button, go back again, now it's going to show me the monitor out, which in this case, remember monitor out, B&C cable, that's going to here, which is basically my small HD 702. If I select the monitor out, I can select the frame lines. Do I want to see the cross? So watch, if I do off, it should disappear. Right, there's my cross back. You kind of get the idea. Okay, so let me go back. Back one more time. Okay, so frame lines. Frame lines, this option, menu, monitoring frame lines, applies to the frame lines that you're going to see in here or in the viewfinder. You're basically setting up the parameters for the frame lines, not whether you want it on or off, but just what the parameters are, what they're going to be. So if I do frame line 1, right now I have 2K, 16 by 9. I'm framing for 239, and that shading, masking is going on. If I rotate up, you can kind of see how the frame lines change. But this would be like your 239 flat. Like let's say you actually wanted to see what was coming above and below the frame. Like somebody's standing up out of a chair. You know, something's moving up and down there where you want to see them before they come in. That's where you would select your flat. But for our purposes, I've got a really good DP who's going to operate camera himself, and he doesn't want to see that, so he wants to see a shaded out area. So I'm going to select that, and then you're going to see frame line contains no metadata. Basically like a warning that there's no metadata in the frame lines. So basically I'm going to go back. I'm going to get back to this menu. These are the other options you can select. Do you want the color to be different? Do you want the intensity to be different, et cetera, et cetera? So if I go back again, false color would be if you wanted to apply false color. We're not too worried about that. So let's go back to our menu. I've got projects. If I hit project, this is where you select the resolution. So you want 2K resolution, you want your codec, Apple ProRes. It's basically telling you what's going on, that all the information that you put into the system is here. And this actually allows you to do like quick changes. So, you know, if you wanted to like do a quick erase, that would be here, et cetera, et cetera. Anyways, let's go back. So if I go system, your SD card goes underneath the camera. SD card would be where you would upload like your lookup table, that kind of stuff. If you wanted to format that SD card, this is where you would do it. You go back. There's your fan mode. Do you want your fan mode to be regular recording? You know, do you want the fan to be lower while you're recording? That's where you would adjust that stuff. Display beeper, test signal. Like let's say you wanted to send bars and tone. See if I do on. Test tone. So now I've got bars and tone. So let's say you wanted to test out something, calibrate your monitor, etc. This would be the menu where you would do it. Menu, system, test signal. So if I want to take that off because I want to go back to my recording image. There you go. So now I'm back to my recording image. Boom. Hit back. You kind of get the idea. Frame grabs is if you want to grab like a still photo. User setups is if you want to kind of start customizing stuff. Load, factory reset, yada yada. Kind of get the idea. I'm going to hit the home key to get back to home. But basically, those are your basic options when you set up the camera. So let's say the camera's set up now, you want to record. Boom, hit the record button. It'll flash a couple times. You get a beeping noise. Now you know you're recording. So if I move around, there you go. And I'm going to hit record one more time to turn it off. So now I've stopped recording. Okay, so how do you play back? How do you watch what you just shot? So that's the play button right here. So when you hit play, you're going to get this menu. This is clip 6 of 6, the last clip that you recorded. So let's say you shot 3 clips in a row. Now it's time to watch playback. Director wants to see what you shot or whatever. You did some Steadicam stuff. Now's the time to look at it. So if I hit the jog wheel, it's gonna start playing back what we shot. See, the camera's moving around as we were moving the camera around, right? But if you look in real time, I'm not moving. Okay, so let's say I wanted to go back to the previous clip. You hit clip list, and then we were on clip 6, so now I want to go to clip 5. That's what clip 5 looked like, right? And then I selected that I wanted to hit clip 5, so if I hit it one more time, it's going to start playing back what clip 5 was. There's my, see, as you can see, the camera's not moving, but I'm showing you what happened in clip number 5. Okay. So then same thing, you can hit clip list, you can go to 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever it is. Okay, so let me go back to the home key. I'm going to show you how to format the card now. So to format the card, you want to go to your menu, right? You've already, let me start over. So home page, right? You've just shot all your stuff. You want to give it to the DIT. You basically come around to this side, open the Bombay door, push your card out, right? Your card comes out. If you were a good AC, you'd put a piece of tape here saying that the card's hot, that you haven't downloaded it yet. You give it to the DIT, right? DIT is going to give you the card back. It's either going to have a green piece of tape, which says that the card's been downloaded, it's ready to be formatted, or sometimes they'll take the tape off and just say, hey, the card's ready to be formatted. A good DIT loader, second AC, whoever the heck is doing your footage is gonna be able to give you the card in good hands, knowing that you can now format the card. When you put the card in, logo out, remember, so I'm gonna put the card in, click it in, you're gonna get a green light, close the Bombay door, come around this side, ready to format the card. So I'm gonna go to menu, I'm gonna go to recording, right, which is right there. I'm gonna go to internal, because we're internally recording. Now, here's the moment of truth. Quick format or erase the card. I know that we're using 8 cards. I really don't need to save the data. Once the DIT has told me, or the loader has told me that the card's been downloaded, that everything's on there, it's been backed up, I can erase the card. So I'm going to hit erase. Scary moment. There's no card in card slot 1. Remember, because I put it in the second card. That was a quick test for you. We actually put card number 2. Okay, so card number 2, all data will be erased. You need to press both buttons for the card to erase. It's kind of like a fail-safe, like idiot-proof. I'm going to press this one, and then I'm going to press this one. Boom. My card's being erased. Oh my god, my footage is lost forever. The erase is finished. Okay, so if I go back to the home page and I hit play, there's nothing there. 0 for 0. Everything's been erased. So those are your basic menus. Hope you've had fun watching this video. Like I said, I haven't seen a video like this anywhere that just walks through the basic menus of how to set up the camera, how to get going. But you can get more advanced or do whatever you want to do. But if I power down the camera, I think that'll be a good close to this whole video. Sorry, hit the home key. And if I hit power for 4 seconds, there you go. My camera's powered down. So hope you had fun. Shadowcast Pictures Camera Rentals says hello. And Massimo here for the Massimo method. That's how you set up an Arri Alexa. Take care.